Oh, you're so smart.
Okay, I understand people.
Don't start up doing my thing.
Go to class.
You get on everybody bad side of that. Like you might get hit.
Where's the fight? Objective.
Nobody shoot me. Nobody shoot me.
Please.
I just walked in here. Don't start with me.
Malia, answer yourself.
You did not see his vote. You told me.
Okay. Okay, y'all. Calm it down.
Amani, no credit for the sweatshirt.
Me?
Whoa.
You started. The sweatshirt is silent and independent.
You do that like
So you can thank those of you who chewed me out just for doing my job. No time to do this sweatshirt. We're gonna restart. 3, 2, 1.
Alright, guys.
Okay, Amani, Logan, no credit. Logan, put your phone out in uniform. Bring your feet down.
Real nigga don't care. You make me sick.
But as soon as somebody gets somebody in here, you want to switch up so fast.
Okay, we can let that fly.
Something is wrong with you, Mr. Coker.
I think you just get a therapist.
What's wrong with that?
I can't see the situation.
Excuse me, Naya. Can't see.
What is this?
Oh, it's in a grade book, like a room.
Is this a grade?
It's a diagnostic. Remember that. Please don't put this in a grade book.
Diagnostic means don't put it in the grade, please.
He won't put it in.
Anyways.
I can't even see it.
I got back from the class. Got summative assessment tomorrow.
What I plan
So.
to do is, since you can read, take this.
Not
Do you need to go over the rules again? Okay, so don't act like a little kid.
You make new rules every single day, though.
What new rule?
No whining. What about that new whining
told
rule?
us for the
No whining rule.
when she asked to retake a quiz, you just literally told her she couldn't retake it.
You can come to coach class and retake it.
She came to coach class and you said she couldn't retake it.
Is this going
I
on
don't know
grade?
what you're talking about.
Oh,
Okay.
Of course.
Now you don't.
Money, your grade is not my fault.
okay. I didn't say anything about my grade, but okay.
I mean, type grade. You grade the
I was talking about a whole nother person. I wasn't talking about myself.
You grade the quizzes, so technically is.
Why is everyone pissed off?
What do you mean? Wow!
Hey, one at a time.
No, wait, no.
I'm gonna go. Let me go. I know exactly why.
Be respectful.
Please don't.
Why you can't be my class? I could be as respectful as possible. Let me say this: you lose work. You don't teach half the time. You give us tests every day, like we're supposed to know. Listen, you cut me off. Because we not gonna do this. Because I will get my mother up here. How about that? Let me go. Be next.
Okay, we're only doing this if we do it one at a time. Just have
But then you were being disrespectful last week when you put your headphones in and you told us to be quiet.
That was
And
rude.
then,
That was
and
extremely
then
rude.
you tried to switch up when we got Miss Hall in here.
Clock it.
And then yesterday,
You don't say nothing, and then you say,
Don't
you
forget,
don't say
don't
good
forget.
morning. You just start yelling in my face. I just walked in class with my
Extremely
phone.
rude.
Let me go.
Extremely negative.
First up, you break up the whole class and only give us like 5 to 10 minutes to do our work, and then be like,
Wake it up.
homework. Like, come on now, you write your mouth for the whole
Okay.
class, and then give us time to do our work.
Wake it up.
Listen.
I got one. Let me go.
Go ahead.
You put stuff on a board and teach it for like a little bit of time and expect it to know it immediately. That's not how you teach, hon. You have
That's
to.
not how you teach.
That's
And
not
then
how
you
you
get
teach.
mad
You
at
have
us
to
like
let
you.
people
And then you
know.
don't put no grades in.
When
Why
my grade look the way it looked, you didn't give me no time. You put on a board expecting you know in 5 damn minutes. That's not
And
gonna
then
work.
for the correction,
No,
you tell
sorry.
us, if you do the correction, the grade will go up. The grade don't go up. It stays the same.
And you give us a bad grade on a
Real quick,
small
real
tiny
quick.
correction. That's
And
stupid.
also,
You really took the grade.
I did put in the
I have a
grade for
really
the correction.
important
So
question.
if you didn't do them correctly, you didn't get.
You gave me a 1 out of 5 class because I didn't add a period. That's not necessary.
It was a punctuation.
That's not necessary. That's one period. That's not necessary. That's not necessary.
Well,
You should
I'm
say
just
like,
kidding.
hey,
So-
there's no period on this. You want to fix it.
Like that don't mean you just.
Yeah, you do have the
I have
opportunity
something
to
to ask.
But if you don't make us
Sometimes we don't. You
acknowledge
just
that,
grade it and leave it as it is. Sometimes you do that.
Okay, corrections is an opportunity that I give you because
I did the correction. You still gave me a 0.
All right.
Excuse me.
If I get interrupted one more time, I'm not having this discussion.
Oh, because
So if you don't
Right,
wanna- if
still,
you don't wanna,
until you
like,
fix
have
it,
a
'cause you need to
reasonable
fix it.
discussion, I understand that this is challenging for a lot of you, and your grades aren't maybe where they normally are. Okay? Hang on. Hang on. Let me address the headphones thing. Number one, I know a lot of you wear headphones all the time, so it shouldn't be that disrespectful. But also, what was happening when I did that was that about 6 people were yelling at me. So I didn't understand, and we had about 2 minutes left in class after I
That's
said,
not true.
okay, we're done.
You're lying.
What?
Sit down, put in your AirPods, and just ignore the whole class.
Ignoring, I'm doing swim
The
tests.
whole ninth graders.
I have a question.
Right, like I think you're the only
The whole
teacher.
ninth grade is not failing. By the way, you could have gotten. I've given you the chance to do corrections on pretty much all your classwork. There's no reason you shouldn't have a 100 classwork grade if you did the corrections correctly. Oftentimes, especially in this class, I've spent a lot of time getting you quiet. That's why sometimes the classwork turns into homework. If you want to listen and you want to learn, show that by being silent. As far as expectations when you walk in the classroom, those expectations start when you walk in the classroom. I don't know why you're surprised that I'm reminding you. I was explaining to someone yesterday, if I go to a restaurant and I used to work in restaurants 10 years, right? If someone comes to a restaurant and they have their leftover food or whatever, they just push it on the floor and I'm the guy who has to clean that up, that's disrespectful to that person. And they're gonna clean it up right away, hopefully, if they're good at their job. If you're not meeting expectations, I have to say something. I'm going to say something, so just meet those expectations and we won't have to have a conversation. Yes, it is frustrating because I keep having to hear, like you keep having to hear it, I keep having to say it. Right? Yes.
You didn't remind that I was
Because it's every single day.
I have to say something.
Boy, it's every single day I walk in here with something in my hand and you
Because like this is an
I
extra
don't care, you
point.
got it. I ain't even gonna say nothing. I don't care. I don't.
Maybe it's not you every day, but like you know
Okay,
that.
but I'm saying, when I just walked in this room, you said food automatically. It don't make sense to me. I literally
Yes.
just walked in here. What the fuck?
Yeah, watch the language. But it's like, listen, it's not like it's the first month of school.
Okay, but that's not the point.
You don't give people points off just
You
because.
you could have at least said, okay, you put the food away. I would have been like, all right. You just said I walked in here, automatic point. What?
Would also be different.
No,
if-
but you don't see when you're wrong and you're not admitting you're
Exactly.
wrong.
You do that as soon as kids walk through the class.
And you don't say good afternoon. You don't say hello. You don't say nothing that's disrespectful. No, because that's disrespectful.
Mr. Parker, I left my bag in here. Is it still here?
I don't know.
It was a little bag. It was still.
Oh, with the flowers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was
Miss
Mimi.
Demi got it.
Mimi got it.
Demi got it.
Okay.
I have a question.
So just that's not negotiable. Like I'm the
Let her
teacher.
answer. She's trying to ask you a question.
Okay, hang on. To some extent, I'm
She
in
just
charge.
raised hand for 5 minutes.
If you're not following, like not all these rules are my rules. Some of them are, but it's my job to enforce and remind you. You know the rules, so don't be surprised if you lose points for them. Because I'm trying to waste my time and your time talking about it. If you don't care, don't follow the rules. Whatever. It's your grade. It's your detention. Whatever. Come on. What's up?
So it's about the work that you gave us like last week. It was like about the corrections.
Mm-hmm.
And I did the corrections, but you never told me how to do it. You just said it wasn't right.
Yes.
And I
Here's
have
that.
huh?
The corrections instructions, I went over them, I said them out loud, and I put them on the board, and they're also in the slideshow for you to access.
Okay, but can I? Well,
So if you missed that instruction for whatever reason, that's up to you. You're in high school, that's your responsibility. You can still do them, but if you just change the answer, that was not the instruction.
so can I just like redo it or no? Because like
For that quiz.
Pretty much all the classwork and all the quizzes. So you can get half the quiz back on the quizzes. You can also
Half?
retake the
Why not?
quizzes.
Because I know he's trying to do his job and stuff. Like, not everybody learns the same. You gotta comprehend. You gotta sit and talk to us. Sometimes you just quit. You just go to
You
your
write
seat
shit on the board and you
just
don't
stop.
That has happened. I'll admit that's happened in this class. Often.
You
So
gotta
change
like
it. You
remember
have to
we
fix
only
it.
like
Interrupt me,
we
Jessica.
only teenagers.
What?
You have to let me talk.
Because he.
See, like a lot of times I'm talking about the.
Y'all just stop.
A lot of times I'm talking about the classwork, and this kind of thing is going on, or you're having a side conversation. It's not any one of you. It's kind of this whole class. Right? So, yeah, if you're not listening to me, that tells me, okay, I got this. I know this. Or you can come to coach class and figure it out if you're struggling. All right.
Seems like that we the problem and you don't do nothing wrong, but you do be doing stuff wrong and you're not admitting what you're doing wrong.
I'm not saying I'm perfect, but it's a two-way street. Okay.
You're not expecting you to be perfect. Just fix.
I'm not expecting you to be perfect either.
Right.
But
So.
like I said, if you're not gonna listen, there are times when that tells me, okay, you know this, or you don't care about this. So hopefully one day you learn a lesson that when I'm trying to teach you should be quiet so that I can actually teach. So,
If this is a two-way street, like you said, if we pin in our work, can you stop trying to give up on the class though? Like you said, it's multiple times when you sit down and you just start reading your book, be on your phone, pinning your effort. If this is a two-way street, you need to put in your effort too, and actually try to calm down the class and not just let the class try to take over. You have to be able to maintain your class as well.
it's not that I don't try, but that part of that is the lesson that I'm teaching.
You
That's the
try,
way that
but
I'm doing it.
you give up too easily.
Okay. So, also, please meet expectations.
Okay, how are we supposed to meet expectations when as soon as people walk into the door, you're automatically in this negative point?
For starters, you know that I'm going to say something. Don't you know this by now?
Okay, but that's
Give us a warning first. That
One
don't.
at a time. Let me
You
finish.
can get us in a smart start time. Us walking into the door, okay, I'm not in uniform. You're automatically saying negative point. I'm eating food.
You shouldn't be
Negative
in
food.
uniform in the hallway.
But that
You
doesn't
shouldn't be.
matter.
The
Can
class
I
is
say
smart.
on this?
Amir's had a hand up. Go ahead.
You be being like a little crybaby sometimes. Like you be acting like a kid. Like I know you're the teacher stuff, but you be acting like one of us. Like you don't really be a whine baby about stuff. And you sit down and look at that and put your headphones in. When you supposed to be the teacher, like you always say, well, I'm the teacher this, I'm the teacher that. But you give up too easily and you just whine. You go sit down and just opt out. Like why?
Because of what I was just talking about. If there's a certain point, like Logan, for example, right now we're talking about meeting expectations.
I am listening.
No
Text
other
my mom.
teacher
Okay,
does this.
put your phone away. You may not text your mom.
How can you talking about it? Who's to text
You're
them?
not allowed to see. This is what I don't understand. You say the rules, and then you act like the rules have changed, and you're gaslighting me.
We're just trying to.
All right, I'm only ready to speak on the uniform, and I'm gonna go by my day. You gotta understand that the other classes that we come from, okay, Miss Leia room is really cold, and she had a heater, but it ended up breaking. So she let us keep our jackets on until we get out of her class. So you gotta understand that if we're coming from her class with jackets on, it's because of a reason, obviously, because Miss Leia obviously tells us to take the uniform off. But you gotta understand that if she's letting us keep it on because it's cold in her room, you gotta ask why is the uniform non-bliss uniform on.
I understand that.
I don't get that.
But you
I
don't.
don't-
Because your room is not cold, but other teachers' room is most
You want to know
likely.
something? If I had a school, we wouldn't have uniforms. But I work at this school, and we have uniforms. That's between you and Miss Lair. You need to be in uniform by the time you get there.
Are we
Are we
And I usually don't take points
Hold on, look.
before the smarts are. Anyway.
Aren't we supposed to have a warning before though? Like,
Not-
You don't
said-
get warning.
He said he's tired of giving warnings because we should know the
that's your job. You
But
can't
you
be tired of
don't
doing
give
your job. You have to give
You're not
it's a
letting
warning. You
people
can't
sit
just give
down
an immediate point. That's not fair to the
together.
students. That's
They
exactly what
literally
they
just came to the door.
the fuck
You're
you
gonna
mean
give
you
people
tired?
points. Can they at least sit down and take their stuff off?
Okay, well, we can change that. Uniforms
just
by the
follow
end of
the
the
point.
smart set.
Like that don't.
I'm not doing warnings. I'm not going to say anything.
But you had to.
All right.
That was a part of.
What's
Okay.
up?
You don't get us uniform.
Stop changing your voice.
I've heard talk to what food in their hands, still eating from the hallway, or or they have their jacket on, and you do like automatic zero, and like,
No, no, no,
but you do say it sometimes.
Yes, you do.
You said it's a point once.
You really
But
just
you
said
on
it to
her
me
phone.
earlier.
Yeah,
Like, what?
I think I'm doing it sometimes. I usually come into class on time, and Courtney was like, "I mean, like automatic zero." Like, and she was just because she had.
That was definitely when I
She
went
couldn't
off.
give me automatic zero for even having my phone. But I mean, that does. Even though I understand you said that you're not putting the points until the smart start is over, it still makes the student upset, and they start to rant you like, "What did you do yesterday?" When she was like, "I didn't give me automatic zero, da 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 da," and you're like, giving the restaurant example and stuff like that. But you can't just say that and expect someone not to get upset when it's still the smart start. And they're thinking that they're automatically giving a zero when they're still stuck in the place.
If you're not following the rules and you have a consequence and you get upset, I'm okay with that.
So you just don't see nothing wrong that you be doing. Like, you don't see nothing at
That's
all.
not what I'm saying. I'm talking about
That's
this
basically what
issue.
you are saying.
But
You're making an excuse for everything. Everybody has to say you're making an excuse.
It's not excuses.
Yes,
You're
you
making
are.
excuses.
I'm not. I'm telling you how I feel.
if someone comes in and they're eating and you're like, you get upset, you're like, I'm at zero, you're like, oh, well, I have to put my food down, I have to go to the bathroom so I can, wrap this stuff up when I come back in. That's, it doesn't make sense to me. They have to put this stuff down.
The reason for that rule is because the food makes a mess. And so it doesn't change
Like,
that.
we're not.
I don't think you understand her.
Some of them are my rules, some of them aren't my
People
rules.
travel around with their stuff every class. They're not coming in to eat. They're just coming in to put their stuff down, about to get ready for the class time. Get their stuff out, the smart
Yeah,
start.
but you shouldn't have food.
We have lunch literally after this class. They're gonna put it away. Nobody
Right,
be
so
eating
go to
it.
lunch after class. You take it. I don't understand.
I just said nobody be eating it.
If somebody is eating here, that's a different discussion. But if
Yeah,
somebody's
but
just
I'm
walking in
talking
with
about
food, then that's a different
Sometimes
story.
you be talking this class because it's boring. I know that you know. Hold on, wait. Let me speak. Don't start all that getting smart. That's what you do. No, this is not even funny. This is straight get smart. But it'd be like, you can just teach some enthusiasm, something to at least make people be interested in what you be teaching and not let them just sit there and act up because what you teach is boring. I mean, you must know that it is. It really
I'm okay
is.
with that.
But you can at least
Sometimes
teach
it's
with some
boring.
enthusiasm, make people come here with a good smile on their face, make them want to learn something. We come here, you all maybe being like a little mood, you be sassy, you be mean, you be getting smart, always got something to say, baby,
all of
blah,
that,
blah, blah, blah.
like-
But if you teach with like some enthusiasm and how you teach makes us actually interested, maybe we will listen.
Okay. Sometimes it's
Pull a
boring.
Mr.
I'm okay
Hughes
with
or
that.
something. Like,
You know what? You're not taking
This
you're
isn't.
not taking the position. You're not taking it. I know you're not listening to what these kids are actually saying.
I'm listening, but yeah, I do want it to be fun sometimes. But sometimes it's gonna be boring.
Okay,
it's boring all the time, so maybe try to do something fun for
Right
it.
now.
We don't play no games in this class. None. Like, you can change that.
It's fun.
It's not fun. You don't wait till
The correlation between grades and students being upset is not lost on me.
But it's our education on the line.
Yeah, it's your grade, so. Right?
You already graduated.
You
You're
need to take
taking
instead
advantage
of
of
worrying
Okay,
about.
but help us get a good grade.
I am. I've given you the correction
But you're
opportunities.
not.
But you're really not
all
at all.
you
Like,
I haven't met one person that had an A.
Just with you.
Right.
Oh, yeah, that's everything.
So tomorrow,
That's
let's have a silent and
Let's
independent smart
have a-
start like we're always supposed to do every day, which we have never done.
Because of who?
Not even once, because of you.
because the class is so
And it's
boring.
because of both of us. You're in it too.
The silent smart start?
Yes, you're in it too.
You're right.
If
That's
you don't
my-
want
that's
nobody
my
to fuss
bad.
with you, don't yell at nobody. If you don't want nobody to get smart, you don't fuck. No, but that's making me mad because like you're really not admitting to what you're doing, and then you expect us to follow everything you want us to like.
I admitted to
No, you did not. What
what?
You always put a button.
What do I say that happened that I said
It's
no?
just shrugged it off and response to everything. Amira just said, "Oh, your class is boring." Okay, it can be boring, but okay. Like, why your response gotta be like that? Like, why? Like, I
No,
don't
I'm-
think it's not like saying you don't care. It's your response to everything we just put out. It's just like you don't care.
You don't care about what I'm saying.
Like how you say this conversation.
No, I care, but this is not an entertainment entity reality.
Nobody's not supposed to be.
It doesn't have to be exciting every day.
You got it.
from now on, I'm expecting silent smart starts, and we'll go from there.
Is your other classes like this? Your other classes feel like this? I thought the other day somebody called them a bitch.
I'm pretty sure they do. I'm pretty sure they do because I be hearing a lot. Hold on. That's what I'm saying.
Not every day. I realize maybe it's getting towards lunch, we're a little hangry.
Nobody's hangry. You just need to fix what you're doing. There's no reason. Why you have that? It's like you have a whole class in coach class. That means you're doing something wrong.
Let's start the expectation. Voices off, eyes up here.
No, you just sit down. He's not
Four.
going
Voices
And
off,
also, you need
eyes
to
up
stop
here.
doing this.
Voices
I
off,
don't
eyes up
care.
here.
No, you sit down. Just sit down.
Voices off, eyes up here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we failed at that. Let's try again.
What?
It was
4, 3, 2, 1. So the expectations are now, and they always have been. I will now be enforcing this. There should be no talking during the Smart Start until it's time to share the Smart Start. That's going to be every day. We're going to start it over right now. You have 7 minutes.
Excuse me?
If you talk, you do not get credit
You
for
just
it.
picked a minute.
See that? See?
If we
That
talk,
right
we don't
there.
get credit for the small stuff. It's crazy.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
not how the smart start works. You smiling. Nobody in here is smiling. Like what?
Like what? My main concerns are you think that I don't teach, right? Which is not true. But
It's just
We do like you teach, but however, we think you teach in a way that's not as effective.
It doesn't count. You put something on the board and expect it to learn in 10 minutes. That's not how it works.
You don't grade
Unless it at least takes 1 hour, you can have 1 minute to fucking erase it. That's not how it works. Period. That's not how you teach. I think that is first quarter. That's a problem. That is a problem.
You're gonna let me talk for what?
She is a student. She has her name is in several classes.
Okay.
so yes, I acknowledge that this unit is
You
rigorous.
gonna let me talk, or you gonna keep talking? Like I was saying,
Just FYI, your body language is.
okay, my body language is what? I don't care. Let me talk. You
Voices off, eyes up here.
Just let her talk.
Voices off, eyes up here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Are you ready to listen? Because when you ready to listen, apparently you get mad. Okay. What we're trying to say is, you don't listen to what we try to say, like you're doing now. You don't really care to fix it, and when someone tries to tell you something to you, you try to switch up.
What would you like to see change?
Stop saying just okay. Fix everything.
No, really. Give me.
I say the way you respond to everything, like your attitude is just like
Yes,
Like,
it's
very
very
nice. And you get mad when everybody else gets smart with you. We wonder why Chris got that attitude.
smart.
She's
Nothing mean to you unless you said something smart.
You just been very
I come at you
negative.
when you come at me. So you come at me with, a rush. I want you to come back at you because you're not going to talk to me like that as a teacher. That's dead.
Yeah, I can't.
I'm not going for it. I'm not. I'm sorry.
You don't think you disrespectful.
Sorry.
Y'all should act like a child.
Like, you think it's funny. Like, I just don't think it's
We
I don't see that this is feeling productive.
Oh my God.
I feel as though that
Because you're not being productive yourself. You're not taking advice like you.
talking to kids.
I don't know what it is.
We're just trying to can you
That day that we went out to go find Miss Hall, whoever, when she came in here, you started switching up and acting like you didn't do nothing that you did. And then right now, you still act like you didn't do anything. And then
You always got
That's what I'm saying tonight. Like, what's the point of y'all still explaining?
I apologize for putting my headphones in while you were trying to talk to me. Very disrespectful. I
That's
was-
how you're not listening. That's not what he was talking
That's
about.
not the big
That's what she's talking about.
Nothing that she's talking
That's
about.
that's not the big picture. It's
And
the
that's
big
why
picture.
you're all yelling at me like this.
I'm done.
Okay, no,
This is not a good way to get things done.
I have a question. What do you think the principle of what we say to you is? Like, what do you think it is?
Just hear me out.
Wait.
I think the base layer of this is I think if you all had A's, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Well, if you graded
Because you graded that. First of all, you
listen,
graded that.
Malia,
I hate the way you grade.
like you don't.
Yeah, you're
Like, how would you like to be graded?
You
I don't know the way you grade. Like the way you grade is not the way that the rest of them grade. Like it's weird.
and you lose work, so
Right.
you lose a lot of work.
That's you.
That's
We took the other day.
Can you please call?
No, we're done.
No, we're not. We're not because you
If you'd
can't.
like to stay after class, we can speak one-on-one.
Okay.
I don't gotta go to lunch.
Okay, so would you like to go over the stuff?
I'd rather not.
Go ahead. Take a bath, make sure you back up. If you want to write, let's do this. Also, I gave you course evaluations. I didn't really see anything like this on there.
Because that was before. This is all built
Really,
in.
like, let's be real. Of course, yeah, I can be sarcastic. I think you all would admit that sometimes your tone is not the best either.
Mine's not, and I'm gonna admit it every time.
Okay. I can admit that too. But that aside, like, my personality is not going to change that much at 30 years old. Okay? So,
You need something today?
whatever. We're not here to discuss that.
Mr. Parker.
I understand. So,
The therapist is right next door.
so. Really rude in here.
You're rude.
So, I understand this grammar stuff is hard. They don't really teach this in middle school, so a lot of you don't know it, right? It's really elementary school stuff, so I understand it's frustrating. You're getting things wrong. I understand that's frustrating. I'm trying to help you. That's why I've provided opportunities for you to retake those quizzes, for you to make corrections, and stuff like that. But I feel like I do teach, and I feel like a lot of times people aren't listening a lot of times.
Okay.
And I feel like I have spent a lot of energy and all of our time trying to get you all quiet. So yes, it's true I've gotten frustrated, but by not listening, by not following the instructions, you're showing me that you don't care. And a lot of times, you tell me that you don't care. So what am I supposed to do other than take you at your word? I can't do that.
Make your class enjoyable. You set the tone for your class.
I think it's enjoyable. Like, can I start?
Yeah. But part of the one of the things that I like to do to set the tone for the class is have a silent start.
Can I say something, please?
So when you come in here yelling loud, not following the rules, and you're making me have to do things,
We
you
act
follow
like
the
that.
rules.
No, be quiet, Logan. Don't even.
Go
I
ahead.
just say, like, you know how something day can just start off good and then it just go down. I feel like that's how you just, it be like that. But I feel like you're always angry. Like, listen, you don't want it be nothing wrong. As soon as you get that, it's just energy just drops. It's like you're mad. Something happened. Like, I don't know. It's just. That's why my class is so boring. It's always
Like, this
switch.
thing, you just always.
Yeah, this grammar stuff is kind of boring.
At the end of the day.
Like, I feel like yesterday.
It's boring, but
Said about
we spent longer on it because people didn't get the questions right. Mostly because people weren't following the strategies and following the instructions. You got to do what I say you're going to do, and then if we had gotten all this right the first time, we could have moved on.
You actually have a very likable personality once you get in that mood. Like, I've seen you, me and Courtney, we joke with you like every other day, every now and then. But I feel like your tone sets and it's just like once you greet us with that energy, that negative energy, it really doesn't help. But I do appreciate sometimes you come to this mood down, like, oh, Courtney's headed down, like, are you okay? Da da da. But I feel like a lot of days you're just not in the mood, and I feel like sometimes you have to realize you actually do care about your class. It's just not.
That's what I was trying to explain about the disrespectful.
Also,
I have a boss, right? Right across the hall, I have another boss, I have two bosses, right?
Aware.
So if I'm not enforcing the rules You think, maybe you do, because I actually put on a teacher persona. Like, I don't care about rules. Like, I think you should only follow rules that you think are just. Whatever. But it's my job. So it is disrespectful because I have to say something. So every time you're coming in, talking, eating, on your phone, out of uniform, for every student, I have to say, this is my job, I have to correct you every single time. So yeah, that is negative energy, because I am pissed off. It's annoying to have to remind you every single day, and you act like it's never, like no one's ever said put your phone away before.
Not when you step foot in class.
And it's psychologically messed up for you to say, what? My phone? Why do I have to put my phone away?
Okay, but it's just why you yelling. The first thing you say is you yelling.
Yeah, because Courtney, with you specifically, it's because so often I have to remind you.
Okay, you can remind me every day, but you're not going to yell at me in my face when I step foot in class. I literally said good morning to you the other day, and you said get to class. That's so disrespectful. Like you don't see how that's disrespectful.
That's my job.
Okay, your job. Okay, you could have said good morning. At least you could have at least said good morning back. Like what?
You don't sleep at night.
That is not rude.
He don't.
That's the question. You said yesterday somebody called you the B word, right? So I understand that was the case. You were mad and stuff, but at the same time, it's not fair for the other students to deal with you being moody. That's not fair. We could all be in a good mood coming into class, and you just sitting here being disrespectful and yelling at us. That's not fair. Exactly, bring everybody else mood
Don't
down.
act like you're being silent when you're supposed to be.
Nobody.
That's not my point. It's not about
That's
you.
not
It's
what
about
we said.
what you're doing.
Shifting.
Right. It's what, I understand being called a bitch. That's not. It's rude. It's extremely rude. But that don't mean you have to bring it out on everybody in the class. It's not.
Because you surely did. You yelled at us yesterday.
Exactly. You yelled at all of us yesterday. You can't bring that damn down.
Food, uniform, talking during the smart start.
Okay, but that's built up for somebody else.
Listen, if everybody comes in, they don't have their phones out, they're on time, they're in uniform, and they're silent during the smart start, we're gonna have a great day.
You already do you enjoy your job? Because you don't act like you enjoy your job.
Sometimes.
Rarely.
You have a whole Grinch look. Like you don't.
You enjoy it?
Yeah.
Was it full time? For how long?
It was one time.
You need to be like Mr. Hughes.
Right. Look at Hughes. Get some advice from Mr. Hughes. He's a very.
He's a jolly old man.
Yes,
You need a
right.
buddy.
It's like every.
And he's been working for over 4 years.
Miss Blair has attitude, but she is.
She wants jokey joke.
Like she asks us how we are every
No,
morning.
she are good except
She greets us every morning.
See, Mr. Parker, the thing is with Miss Lair, I'm gonna compare Miss Lair because Miss Lair is a very amazing teacher. When we walk in, we be like, "Hey, Miss Lair," all this other stuff, but it changes because how you just been treating us with the smart stars, just falling away. When we walk in, it's just like, all right, like let's just get this over. Like,
Yeah, it's like everybody's
like we're so used to you having a bad attitude or you always in a bad mood to where it's just like there's no reason for us to be putting in effort when it's just no use if you're just gonna keep sitting down,
That's
keep
valid.
being on your phone.
yeah. Like when we leave there, we literally decide because
You be like, oh, y'all ready for Mr. Parker?
No, we always say no.
You acknowledge that this class is quite talkative and it's very difficult to deal with.
Every time.
No, that's not everybody. It's like some people talking. You don't just say nothing. You like say one thing or like barely have everybody just say it's early for you. It's early for everybody else.
Noted, I will try to have a better outlook and be more positive, but please, but also, can we agree on this? Phones away, in uniform, no food, and be on time and be silent during the smart start.
By the end of smart start.
No.
You said that.
By the
You
end of
just
smart
said that.
Uniform, I said. Everything else,
Yeah, that's what I
put your
said.
phone in your pocket.
And you didn't say that earlier.
He does that
We were
too.
talking about
So,
uniform. On uniform, you can have till the end of the smart start. I don't want to see anything else. If you do that, and I'm in a bad mood, if everybody in the class does that, and then I'm being in a bad mood, feel free to say, hey, Mr. Carter, you seem like you're in a bad mood. I'll try to switch it up. Okay? But until expectations are met, no, I'm not happy with that. Maybe.
He needs to be more positive.
Yes.
Please don't break down your. Don't do that. A diagnostic is where you're supposed to be, not you. It's not. It's not. It's not.
Oh, by the way, what we're doing today, the diagnostic.
Please don't put this in a grade book. Please don't.
No, the diagnostic, that's the same one we did before.
Okay.
No.
Don't put it in.
So let me talk.
Go ahead. You gonna talk? Nobody's speaking.
Okay. So what we're doing with that, we now learned all that stuff. And so what I'm going to do is put that in the grade book to replace your old grade. And also add it again. So if you learned anything at all in the last month, your grade will go up. Also, if you finish it by the end of class, I'll tell you what you got wrong and you can do corrections.
If I don't have anything to say in the class, it's gonna be a problem.
We're going to have another one. That's the one that I talked about yesterday.
I was here today.
Come to Coach Dawson next Tuesday.
I've never felt it. I've never felt
So it'll be 20%, but eventually it'll be 10 because we're going to have 2 semesters. Yeah.
I need that, whatever it is that you bring.
That's how we did vocabulary. We had assignments. We did traded grades. We went over the assignments. We did it again. We had a quiz. You could do corrections. You could retake.
That is exactly what I'm talking about. You're not listening to me. You were trying to make it seem like you did teach and you didn't.
I did teach it. What all the stuff I'm describing is teaching.
Okay. Everybody in the class raising hand, you
Of course they're gonna raise their hands because they're mad.
Nobody's mad. We're just telling you what you need to fix. We're not taking it into consideration.
We're being so.
Our expectations, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with a little bit of frustration. I think sometimes, like this class is a little bit too easy.
Easy. So why?
So why we're failing?
It's cold over here.
Okay? I understand it's frustrating. This is challenging stuff.
And we need this class to graduate. So
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna need you to fix what you're doing.
Yeah, the stuff that I'm.
It's extremely
Listen.
serious.
So, also, like, when you have questions, ask them.
Yeah, hold on, because I'm trying to ask questions and you shut down.
Which way?
It's been multiple times where I asked your question or you either got smart, told me you should have been listening, or something else.
Yeah, you most
Some of that's
definitely,
true.
you do shut us down every time we try to ask for help.
It's not every time, but it's most of the time.
Tomorrow, that's not true. Yeah.
Okay, so like when you try to ask us a question, and the back row has their hand up, you, or like the people back there has their hand up, you look around the classroom and you see the people up there.
When you're answering questions?
When we're trying to answer the question you ask.
Okay. Sometimes that's because the people that raise their hand first, I know they probably are most likely to understand it. My job is to make sure everybody understands.
But if they have that's the teacher. As a teacher, it doesn't matter if they get it or not. You still need to answer the question so they can fully understand.
He was saying they were raising their
Yeah,
hands.
because like some people are really trying to get a participation grade, and you may know they're not going to understand it, but can you at least let them try so you can try to correct them? You know?
Should we get a wheel of names?
No, we don't need a wheel of names.
We
just try to call on different people once in a time. Like, you can keep on picking on the same people that aren't understand. That's why some people don't understand.
You funny. You're funny. Like, you know what you're doing. I think you know what you're doing.
Everybody. I was talking about everybody, not just one person.
Bro, he's trying to manipulate, bro. That's all. Yeah, you really are.
But also, again, it's expectations. If you're on your phone and you're having a side conversation while I'm teaching, again, and I'm not saying that to you, Hannah, but that shows me that you're not engaged and you don't care.
How are we going to be engaged with something?
So by then testing you on that material, that paid attention, got the answers right, get a good grade. Those people that put the work in get a good grade. If you're not engaged in class and following, like those expectations, a lot of them, like the talking ones, are there to like make sure that you learn. So if like you're on your phone and stuff, it's like, well, I guess you don't care. You need to put your phone away.
How are you making sure we're learning? Making sure that you don't care either, and you get on your phone and you just read your book half.
It's not half the time.
What do you mean? It's
Dead ass.
Ever since we
Where did
You dead ass.
Ever since we've been doing Romeo and Juliet, I've been doing the same thing.
Liar.
I do
What
not
was
read
that book
I
that
didn't
Courtney
read
asked
a
to like
book.
2-3 different Malcolm? What was that book that Courtney asked what you was reading over there?
Right.
Every book.
That was this year. That was not during
But you
Romeo
just
and
finished
Juliet.
the book. You told me the book had
Yes, because it was this year. I didn't read any books last year.
So when are you getting another
If it
book?
wasn't the book, if it wasn't the book, you were either on your phone or you had your headphones in.
You be going on. You be like, this,
My headphones are
you do exactly this, and you do that all the time. Every time you always do it. Don't even deny it. Don't even do that.
while you're doing
I don't
classwork.
really have the patience or the time, and I have a headache.
Just self-explain. Like, just
All right, so we're gonna start with the smart start.
it's
So
over.
classwork and homework now. Voices off, eyes up here. Silent smart start. You have a silent smart start. Silent smart start. Okay, so Logan, no credit.
I'm saying yes.
You're talking during the smart start.
Really, I said, where am I gonna pit him?
Okay, so you agree that you talk.
It was a valid
Put it in
question.
your
Where am I
bag,
gonna
put it
pit
in your
him? I'm not
locker.
pitting him in my book.
Don't have to go. Don't have to go. You're acting like you can't think of one single place to put your phone.
We're talking about food, not my phone. My phone is easily gone.
Okay. So let's start that again. Everybody, new shot. What's on your next one?
Mr. Pauker.
I'm gonna ignore that.
Mr. Pauker.
Because that's disgusting.
What's disgusting?
Nobody should be talking. Smart start is on the board. We're silent right now. We're silent right now.
I'm so
We're doing the
tired.
smart start. No talking. Okay, sorry. Let's try this again. We're gonna do a silent smart start.
just skip it.
It's big past the smart chart. We shouldn't be tired.
Everybody already used my stuff.
We did. Why are we doing it?
Because everybody talked earlier, so I'm trying to give them a chance to get credit.
We can start tomorrow. It's so stupid.
It's almost time to go.
Okay, so everybody got that classwork, right?
No.
Okay, you were late. That's why you didn't get it.
I'm taking this one.
Again, meeting expectations.
Okay,
Meeting
come on,
expectations,
sarcasm.
everything
Come
goes
on,
straight.
it's not this time.
I didn't get that, sir. I was waiting to
Why do you gotta make everything into a question?
I was here on time.
You're disturbing yourself.
Person to ask you a question.
He kind of angry.
Like, we almost fell. Look at you. Almost fell.
He was like, she's like, why got Eric into it? He was like, you go to yourself. I was like, he kinda-
Yeah, a lot of you are projecting.
Bro, you don't know how to admit to how you run. I can tell you're so stubborn. Like, it gets bad with you.
Can't wait to read this book.
Boy, no.
I can't wait till you get right.
I can't wait until your hairline receives.
Okay.
That's what I said.
No, don't follow him. We don't pick you.
Okay.
Alright, so in the sentence, the classrooms of the students were decorated for the holidays, which of the following correctly shows possession. Who can tell me one wrong answer? Yeah.
D.
why is D wrong? Did anybody, we figured that out was wrong, right? S apostrophe S, this pretty much should never happen. So, Imani, right now I'm teaching.
You can be smart all you want.
Okay, so, unless it's a singular noun that ends with S, that should never be S apostrophe S. You know, about Jesus, things like that, that ends with S are okay. Alright, who else would like to raise their hand? Give me one question that is incorrect, Imani.
C.
C is incorrect. Why?
Because it's missing an apostrophe.
Yes. Okay, who's got the correct answer?
B. It's B.
Wait, who's A? Hands down. Who thinks B? Alright, how many students are there? Somebody who answered B. Raise your hand.
More than one.
Shh. Raise your hand. Somebody who thought it was B. How many students are there? Asia, how many students were there? Oh, my bad. How many? Well, anybody, raise your hand. How many students are there?
More than one.
Multiple. So we need to have the S, and the apostrophe goes in here. Correct answer was there.
Oh. Yeah, because some people, I don't know if they knew why. I don't know if they heard yesterday, because
Okay.
we was talking about that.
Yeah.
Why was it not B?
Can I say
Why was it not B?
Why wasn't it B? Because that would mean that it's one student with multiple classrooms. When it's plural, you put the apostrophe after the S.
Oh.
You know what plural means? Oh, okay. Cool. Number 2. Who wants to take us through that one?
Me.
Go ahead.
The correct answer is C.
Should be C.
Yes. Why? How many dogs are there?
It's
One.
Dog, and it's his tail.
Okay, cool. So that's pretty much how apostrophes are going to be tested tomorrow. And excuse me, I heard your note about my attitude. I'm going to try to work on that. But again,
You go over to yours.
can you do the vocabulary? So this is a good example. So one of the things about being successful, this is not, it's a problem in the whole district, right? But attendance, like when I'm working on today's lesson, I'm talking about today's lesson. When we get to the classwork, I'm happy to help you with something like that. But like asking about old work, like that's on you when you miss school. Obviously there are excused absences. We try to be understanding, but if you're missing school a lot, it's the same as just being on your phone throughout the class. Okay, I understand it may not be your fault, but as you get older, you may have people in your life trying to keep you away from school. It's up to you to do what you can do. I understand. However, if it's not your fault, then
What are you eating?
Maybe it was a family emergency.
right, that's what I mean. Stuff comes up, but it's still old.
But you said old like it's not what it was yesterday.
We didn't go over yours. That was from a while ago.
A while, really?
Yeah, your. When did we do your? That
How long ago was
3
that?
weeks ago.
Damn.
Okay, so let's do this as stop. What think about this? Yeah, go. I don't have a pass. Ball's right there. I might get in trouble, but go.
Okay.
I thought you said it was Tanaya actively. Did she just? I thought it was Tanaya actively after Logan.
Alright, so silent stop and jot, then we'll share later. Let's do 1 minute. Remember to answer. Voice is off. Voice is off. Raise your hand if you have a question.
I don't got a question about this. I got a question about why she
I didn't know that you were in line. I'm fine.
This whole
minute, stop and jot. Remember to answer in advance, so read the question with that one's underlined. And please put your phone away. Alright, so now let's share an answer with someone next to you. See if you got the same thing. Don't share it with the whole class.
You gotta write the whole sentence for stop and drink.
Okay, so right now everyone should be talking and sharing with the person next to you. Everyone should be talking and sharing with the answer next to you. Like right now, did you get the same answer?
I was looking at the board. Oh my gosh, you're not really pissing me off. Yeah. The answer is called
Is that what she said? So it's going to when I'm doing this is your teacher.
That's not teaching. You told me. Okay.
I'm telling you to check your answer in here. This is teaching.
So I can't look at the board now? Okay, then why'd you say something then?
Do you see one of those?
Alright, does everybody agree on an answer with their partner?
Yeah.
Totally.
Okay. Kaden, what can we definitely get rid of? Well, actually, first, let's answer in advance. During the summers, when I was growing up, we sat by the pool having blank iced tea for hours on end. What is this question asking us about? Raise your hand. Very good. Tense, really. Tense has to do with verbs, right? So, based on this, should the answer be past, present, or future?
Hey.
Okay, cool. We're doing that. We'll draw an arrow this way. That's my answer in advance. Alright, so why is A wrong? Any ideas? Why A? Pass. Good night.
Because in A, it's like, oh, you said A?
Yeah, why is A wrong?
Oh, I was about to talk about B.
Okay, talk about B.
Well, B is because it's talking about the present and it said during the summers. So, yeah, that's why I say,
Yeah, during the summers, we've also got this.
oh,
This is
when I
the
was
time we
growing
can get
up.
rid of this. When I was growing up, but it does tell us the past. There's another clue before we move on that this is in the past. Which word?
When?
Maybe, but it could be when I get tired, I drink iced tea, right? That could be present. There's another word. I remember we were talking about verb tense, yes. That is there.
Summers?
Nope. Remember, we're talking about one at a time, please. One voice. Pardon me. Okay. Verb tense. What are the verbs in this sentence? Sat. Sat is past tense. That's a giveaway that this definitely needs to be passed. So yeah, we can definitely chop A. What about B?
That's what we present, right?
Yeah, so is that correct?
No.
Alright. So now we're down to drank and had drunk. Does anybody have a good drank?
Had
Why
drunk.
why not had?
It's not grammatically correct. And
Yeah.
drunk iced tea for hours on end.
Yeah, if you plug it in, it doesn't really make sense. During the summers, we sat by the pool and had drunk iced tea for hours.
Knew it.
So it goes past tense. But my rule with had is most of the time on this kind of quiz, it's going to be wrong. That's one clue. The other clue is unless you definitely need it, don't include it. Okay? So that's how you figure out between drunk and had drunk. Okay? Yeah, one more. Nope, that's it. So since we were